Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about recently upgraded Hurricane Lee here. Now, as of 5 p.m., once again this just got upgraded. We are sitting at 991 millibars, moving west-northwest at 75 miles per hour. And as you can see here at the bottom of the screen, 75 miles per hour and moving west-northwest at 14 miles per hour. Now, it is projected to become a major hurricane by Friday afternoon. It might become a major hurricane before then. That's to be determined, but by the time it gets into Saturday, Monday time frame, it is going to be around Category 4, pushing Category 5 hurricane strength, going towards the United States. Now, once it gets past this mark here, the 65 degrees west here, if it is still moving west-northwest, and not just straight, let's say north-northeast almost, or maybe east-northeast, then I think the East Coast will have a problem here, anywhere from, let's say, Delaware up north. And if it gets here and it's still going west-northwest, then we really gonna have to watch out for this system. If we take a look at the hurricane models here, we can see we are on fantastic agreement up until 48 hours out. And even if you take out these UK models, we are in spectacular shape here for the agreement here up until hour 120, 140-ish. Now, the uncertainty comes when the storm wants to take a northward turn. Would it be as early as 64 degrees west or as late as 71, 72 degrees west? The later it turns north, the higher a chance it has affecting the coastal United States. If we take a look at our global models here, if you go between the Canadian, GFS, and European, we are still in a bit of a deadlock here on which model wants to be correct. If we jump quickly to hour 90, which is 2 a.m. Sunday, our storm is sitting about 60 degrees west, and we have a trough down in the east coast, and we have ridging up into eastern part of Canada. If we want to advance this to hour 138, you can see the storm still moving west-northwest here. Our trough has flattened and we have two little short waves right here, and our ridging is still in southeastern Canada. And if we want to once again jump this, as we can see here, Lee has started to take that northward turn, so it pretty much tracks like this according to the GFS here. And you can see here, let me just wipe this out over here, we have our shortwave digging down into the United States, which according to the GFS here, if I play this along, eventually kicks us out into maritime Canada, affecting Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. Due to this shortwave right here, eventually Lee is close enough to the point where it does drag it out like this, and the ridge is weak enough to prevent this storm from just going straight out to sea. This ridge is strong enough from preventing just it going straight out to sea, but affects maritime Canada in the process. If we jump to the Canadian model, it's similar to the GFS in a way that it takes it out to sea. This is Lee at the bottom of the screen right here. Once again, we have blocking in Canada and a little shortwave here. We jump to hour 138 here. We can see Lee is still moving west-northwest, mostly west at this point. And we do have our shortwave and trough coming down, but it's a lot stronger on the Canadian compared to the GFS. If we go back and look at the GFS, this is GFS and this is Canadian, that is a lot stronger on the Canadian. And if we play this forward here, it takes it very close to Bermuda. Our trough right here, go like this. So the Canadian wants to take a track like this, pretty much. If we compare it to the GFS at this time, we'll compare all global models at the same time. The GFS will be green right here. So at the same time, it's right here, and we'll just quickly go to the European. I want to compare all three at this time. I will make this a nice light pink. The European is right here. Okay, that's fine. But what happens after this? Well, the European wants to take it on a northwest trajectory. And why is that? Reason number one. Let me clear all this. but I'll keep the lows out so you can see what I'm talking about. First off, for the European, they're just straight blocking from the North Atlantic to all the way back into central Canada. Reason number two, our trough that's over here is digging, allowing the system to go more northwest. And as you can see here in the final frames, let me just put this back a little bit more. It starts out over here and then eventually ends up, let me just erase this real quick. I just want to show you guys a visual here. Ends up right about here. So it's going north-northeast at this time, and if you continue this, if it were to continue, it would make landfall on eastern Long Island, southeast New England. Now, do I think that would happen? I don't know, because it all depends on this upper air. If this upper air is like this, by the time we get to Saturday, then we are in real trouble for the Northeast, because there's nothing allowing Lee to get kicked out to sea, and this blocking is also going to prevent it from getting out to sea, and there's only one way for this storm to go, and that's towards coastal parts of the Northeast. Finally, real quick, I just want to show you my 4 possible outcomes. Anywhere in the red, that's covered anywhere from Long Island all the way up into Newfoundland and Nova Scotia and southeast New England. This is potential targets for landfall. Path number 1, which is right here, which is the European, which I do think is a possible scenario if we have a ton of blocking up in this region. Scenario number 2 is, I would say, GFS the past day, not today on the 12Z, but the past 2 days, taking it close into Cape Cod and then into the Gulf of Maine. Path number 3, which now the GFS is showing, and close to the Canadian, straight into Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. And scenario number 4, which I think is the least possible at this time, taking it straight out to sea like the Canadian is showing. I hope everybody has enjoyed this quick little update. I will update you more tomorrow. Please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I hope